What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. I had to make a video on this when I saw it, and I know that everybody and their mother has already covered it, but hell, so am I. Microsoft is going to acquire Activision Blizzard for almost $69 billion. This is one of the biggest deals I have ever seen, especially in the realm of the video game industry. It might even be the biggest one. I can't think of a bigger one off the top of my head. But this is bonkers, absolutely bonkers for the embattled Activision Blizzard that's been really going through it, especially in my state of California lately with the sexual harassment and all that stuff that they've been trying to get past and not really able to because Bobby Kotick is still at top of the company. But regardless of that, Microsoft decides to take them on. This is crazy. And it's going to send shockwaves throughout the entire entertainment industry on the whole. Like, I don't think a lot of people really grasp just how big Activision Blizzard really was. And kind of still is to this point. They had a bigger market cap value, or at least this sale is bigger than what Nintendo is currently valued at. That's how crazy this deal is. And in addition to that, previous deals of what Microsoft had done in the past, Activision Blizzard is by far the biggest. This is from John Elrickman, who said that their previous largest acquisition was LinkedIn at $26.2 billion, Nuance, Skype, ZeniMax, which was Bethesda, GitHub, Nokia, A Quantitative, and Mojang, which at the time, a bunch of years ago, 2.5 billion, people thought that was a lot of money for a game. Looking like a pretty good deal right now if you look at what Minecraft has become and how far it's come. And maybe in a way, Microsoft is kind of looking at Activision Blizzard and their plethora of huge AAA titles to maybe expand upon that. And that's the other thing with Activision Blizzard. They had this mantra that every game coming out of there had to be this massive AAA perfect game that just would sell gangbusters. But with Microsoft coming in and having all the money and creative leadership, maybe they might relax that a little and let them make a few more games that don't have to be, 10-year development cycles for a game to come out. It might be a little bit more often. That could be a good thing. Could definitely be a bad thing as well. So that's one of those we'll have to wait and see on. But for the most part, this is exciting on surface level because if you guys had watched my previous video, Microsoft Game Pass is like my new love in gaming. I can't get enough of it. There's just so much value there. And it took me so long to accept Game Pass into my life. I should have door-to-door sales doing that. But it was one of those things where I didn't want to go digital. I didn't want to do that. I was a physical game collector. I wanted all that to stay retro in my life and be able to physically hold the games. And then I played Game Pass and I'm like, okay, I could get used to this. Then I saw the introductory price of 99 cents for 3 months and I was like, okay, I could get used to that too. And then I saw it's only $15 a month after that. And I'm like, okay, if it's worth it, then I might pay for that. We'll see how much I play it. And with all the games that are currently on it, holy crap. As I said in that previous video, I can't believe Nintendo's not doing that. And here we have Activision Blizzard being acquired by Microsoft, adding Overwatch, Diablo, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Candy Crush from King, and StarCraft. In one form, shape, or another, most likely, most if not all of them, making their way over to Game Pass. Not necessarily exclusively, though. That's another thing. I saw people online today that were like, oh, now Call of Duty is going to be exclusive to Microsoft Xbox or exclusive to Windows or exclusive. No, that's not what this deal means. Not yet. I wouldn't cry about that just yet. People are like, whoa, they just bought them though. Of course they're going to be exclusive. Look at Minecraft. Everyone forgets they own Minecraft and it's still everywhere. It's on PlayStation. It's on Nintendo. It's on, I mean, iPad. You can play it on everything. So I wouldn't necessarily be too concerned just yet on exclusivity. Yet. That's where I have a couple of concerns with this whole direction that the industry's going. And I think it's something that is being ignored by a lot of people. I've heard some people bring up the whole, oh, it's a monopoly or becoming a monopolistic and all that. Yes, I can see that direction here, and it might end up being challenged by whatever agencies challenge. God only knows what rules are when it comes to the world of financials and what's allowed and fair competition these days, because that line and goalpost seems to move on an hour by hour basis. But regardless of that, if they are going to be a monopoly, then that is a problem, because yes, they have the great introductory price. Yes, they have the affordable pricing in the months coming after that. But then what comes down the road? It reminds me of like the Walmart approach to the local stores, where this huge store, just super Walmart, comes in and just props itself down in the middle of the town, and all the mom and pop shops can't keep up with them. They can't get the prices to that price. And so all the townspeople just go to that Walmart, and Walmart just keeps cutting the prices, cutting the prices, cutting the prices. And then once they put all the competitors out of business, they start raising the prices. And nobody can compare, compete, or fight with it, because Walmart has already come in and just dug its hole, and it's just there. And it's really hard to get rid of that once that's been accepted. That's my concern with this. It's not today or next week or next year or next 5 years. It's like 10 years from now, 20 years from now. The future of gaming with this kind of deal has massive, unimaginable consequences if not handled properly. And Microsoft, being a publicly traded company, spending $69 billion, I still can't get over that, $68.7 billion on Activision Blizzard. They're not doing this for charity, folks. They're doing it because they want to make as much money as possible. And they're gonna slip and slide their way into getting there as calmly and collectively to get everyone on board as they can. And then most likely follow the trend of all other businesses, where it's just slowly rise the price over time. Look at Netflix. I mean, they started, what was it, like $7 a month, and now it's getting to like $20 a month in America. And then that's only in like 7 or 8 years. It's gone up over 100%. So yes, there's been improvements. They've had more originals. They have HD. Yes, they have all these bells and whistles. But my point being, the cost has gone up, and there's not really an alternative to Netflix that did what Netflix did back then. And then all these other competitors trying to get in and compete with Netflix, and they already have their base of subscribers. They already had that low price and getting everyone in at the start, and it's really hard to compete with them right now because they got so big. That's my concern with this. But on the surface, right now, I'm ecstatic. Right now. How this gets handled in the future, if it's determined to be a monopoly, how the game industry handles it down the road, what Sony ends up doing, what kind of precedent this sets. Like, I saw someone, I can't remember who it was, I saw someone on Twitter say, this opens the door for Disney to possibly buy Sony. And I'm like, oh, that's ridiculous. And I was like, thinking about it a little bit more, it's like, no, it's actually not so ridiculous now. And then what does that mean? Is that a good thing for the consumer or the bad thing? Everything being consolidated, the industry is maturing and shrinking down. It's a good thing to be able to play all your games in one place and just buy one console to have as much stuff as you want on that one console and then not worry about everything else. But it does, unfortunately, potentially limit creativity and the marketplace for the indie developers or the little guys trying to create their own systems and compete, stuff like that. Like the Intellivision Amico, as you guys already know, that's what I'm referring to. Is the more the industry matures, the harder it's going to be for a new guy to come to town and interrupt any of that or try to shockwave it. It's an interesting dynamic for the future, and one that I'm certainly going to be watching play out over the next couple of decades with this. So those are my thoughts on Microsoft acquiring Activision Blizzard for $69 million. Now, side note too, randomly, I am not lying when I say this. I woke up in the middle of the night last night and I thought about Activision Blizzard. And being the investor that I am, I'm like, man, Activision Blizzard's been beat down for a while. Maybe I should buy some call options on that in the morning and see where it goes. I mean, the stock market's been doing terrible. And I woke up to this news and I'm like, well, I missed it. But, I mean, yeah, you can't hit them all. But it was one of those things where Activision Blizzard just seems like this massively valued company that was just beat down for very valid things. I mean, the state of California, I believe, was suing them for really bad stuff. So it wasn't anything to be taken lightly. But at the same time, the IPs between Activision Blizzard and previously Bethesda that they purchased, and obviously King with Candy Crush and other mobile games, it's going to be a powerhouse. Microsoft Studios, not to mention like their own internal studios that have tons and tons of awesome developers as well. But now they're buying other ones, and you just wonder where this goes. You wonder where it goes. I'll leave it at that. Interested to hear what you guys have to say about Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. It's pretty mind-blowing. If you made it to the end of the video, as always, I appreciate you guys, and you stay smashing.